Well, welcome back. Before we go into the papers, let me just give you this information. You know that we do these stories. On Thursdays and Fridays, we talk about life stories, and life itself is a story. Yeah. You know, a collection of several events that shapes our journey. And we'll like, if you want to share your story, that you should share it with us on the show. It will help people learn from your experience. It will help people prefer solutions to your experience. You will get to hear from the entire country as well as the ladies. So please send your touching stories, challenges, or miracles to us at Your View. Send it to yourview@tvccommunications.tv. The email is right there on the screen, so you can take a picture of it and use that to communicate with us. Share your story with us. We'll use your story to help many other Nigerians. All right, let's start the front page review with The Nation. Major headline, subsidy removal. More states roll out palliatives. You have the Kwara, Ogun, Imo announce support for workers and citizens. Why industries shun discos by experts. NEC criticizes high electricity consumption rate by households. In other news, foreign inflow rise by 70% in Q2. Tinubu will fix insecurity, says Akpabio. How will sit at home end by state governors. Kano not in support. And resident doctors give condition to halt planned strike. Tribunal sacks Delta Labour Party rep for Elumelu. Who has what story? I think the major headline is extremely important.
So I've got a major headline. We have the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak. Yesterday, they had, at the forum, they were discussing different palliatives that they are planning to reel out in their various states, you know, to help sort of alleviate and cushion the effects of this fuel subsidy removal. So we have Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, Jigawa State Governor, all these governors were there. Abdulrazak, that's the Kwara State Governor, had approved a monthly payment of 10,000 to every civil servant in his state. Governor of Ogun State has sanctioned the payment of a 10,000 additional salary and then also immediate promotion for workers and also bonuses. Governor Uzodinma okayed the sale of food at reduced prices to citizens. The state will increase the fleet of its mass transit buses. It just shows us the different steps that the governors are taking. In Jigawa, the state governor Umar Namadi promised to support farmers by providing them with fertilizers, chemicals, and equipment, and you know, a few others as well. So the good, I think it was Ogun State that gave 3 months. It was more specific. It gave that says for these 3 months they will have these palliatives. So it just shows us what they're doing. They understand the pain of the people. Anybody say anything? But I'm just hoping.
No salary earners.
Well, there's. Governor of Kwara State provided, well, no. Yes, there's something here. The Governor of Kwara State has approved Kwara State's Social Investment Program, QUASIP, to activate 500 million naira worth of conditional support for petty traders and MSMEs. So I think they get it, they understand what it is, but I'm just hoping, you know, that very soon, that this is, because it's for a short period of time. And also those that need it get it. So that's just my hope.
Is that parameter for selecting those people?
They're mostly, for what they mentioned, the poor and the vulnerable, the indigent. Okay. So that's what we're talking about.
And civil servants, obviously.
And then how do we check that people do not collect? Father will go, mom will go, son will go.
That's an important data. They must have information, or else.
But thankfully, we all have BVN and NIN, and that should help in reducing those kind of duplicates of stuff. What story do you have?
Yeah, I have a story on page 6. Suspend planned strike. Abbas tells resident doctors. Not again. So the House of Representatives Speaker Tajuddin Abbas has urged members of the National Association of Resident Doctors to suspend the planned strike. Okay, so it turns out that just before President Tinubu's inauguration, there was a planned strike which was suspended, but right now they are coming back to the demand, saying it's 200% or nothing. So the Speaker has asked for 2 weeks to reconvene, go discuss with the President, other members, and come up with something substantive. Let us just pray that this doesn't happen. I pray that they are able to resolve it amicably, and we do not have to talk about strike again this year.
Okay, so do you have any story here?
No, I don't.
Okay, so the governors of the Southeast are struggling to find a way to end the sit-at-home. It's a major issue, and Nnamdi Kanu is speaking through his lawyer, Mike Ozekome, to say that in a video clip that he doesn't support the sit-at-home, that those that are pushing the sit-at-home should stop it. He also insisted that he is fighting for the people and he will not, in the same time, fight for the people, be shutting down the economy, that many people have cried to him that it is affecting their businesses and the sitting at home is affecting their ability to work. And, you know, he quoted the Bible. Is re-echoing what Nnamdi Kanu is saying, that they should put an end to sit at home. I'd love to talk about what the governors are planning to do as well, but people should just, those in the Southeast, you know, we're praying for them. It's a major concern for every Nigerian.
Huge concern.
It's like we're praying for us.
We're praying for us, yes, because we're all in this together.
Absolutely.
And we're hoping that they're able to find, the governors God gives them innovative ideas to resolve this issue and let the economy flow appropriately. So moving on to the Punch, major headline, subsidy pain, Labour talks tough, ASU protests condemn relief plans. ASU protesters condemn relief plan as well. Then SANU, ASU say fuel subsidy unintelligently removed. NLC is to meet today. You can see the picture of the protest that took place in Edo State. Edo Civil Society Organization are saying no to the continuous hike in fuel prices. Supervisors, invigilators selling WAEC questions online arrested on trial, WAEC boss. That's a story I'm interested in hearing about. 3 Osun students hospitalized as gunmen open fire on barber's shop. Pregnant women, children among Ondo tanker fire victims. Most Nigerian leaders' knowledge of development is shallow. That's according to our former President Obasanjo. Forex crisis, passengers groan as foreign airline hike fares. Navy won't stop burning vessels, ferrying stolen crude. So, please let's talk about the WAEC. Who has the WAEC story?
I think Mrs. Fash has the WAEC story.
I actually have the Osun students.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I pray that we get a time where we get to stop talking about this government issues. So it turns out that 3 guys were just at the barber's shop and some men came around and shot them. So we do not know, Governor Adeleke has tried to get into the matter. We do not know if they were cultists or they were robbers. Well, I mean, it's something strange. Those students are in the College of Health Technology somewhere in Elisha, and they're currently undergoing treatment. But sad as it may sound, the boy was shot in his tummy, so I don't know if he's even going to survive. And then I'm wondering, there's so much panic, so much anxiety. People cannot just move from one house to the other. I mean, they were just at the barber shop. So what would those guys come out? Broad daylight. Why would they come out? So
I'm sure there'll be more to the story, and we'll wait for their investigation. Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the front pages of the paper, and we're in Punch. You had a story about the pregnant woman.
Yes, I have this story that says pregnant women, children among Ondo tanker fire victims. So the story says the Ondo Sector Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps has disclosed that 8 people lost their lives in the petrol tanker fire that occurred along the Benin-Ore Shagam Expressway on Sunday. Apparently, this tanker filled with products fell on the road. You know, the usual shenanigans of, tankers falling on the road. And our people, in their usual ways, started scooping the fuel. And while they were at it, there was an explosion, and a lot of them were actually caught in the fire. And this brings me to this question. Why do people see huge risks and still decide to plunge? Because this is not the first time we're having this kind of situations where people are trying to scoop fuel and, try to play a smart one to see how much can you really take? How much can you really sell it for? And why would you want to risk your life for that?
That's a challenge of poverty.
Yes.
But, Mariam, you have the story from Obasanjo.
Well, I wanted to start this article with another banger. When he speaks, it's a banger. Anyway, they said he has lambasted. So first of all, this was in Abuja, where he was delivering the keynote address at the public presentation of a book titled Reclaiming the Jewel of Africa. It was written by a former Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, He also served as Minister of Finance, Olusegun Aganga. I hope I pronounced that well.
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. So, former President Olusegun Obasanjo lambasted Nigerian leaders, stating that most of them were empty as far as development issues were concerned. I'll just pick out some of the things he said here, quoting him. He says, if you ask most of our leaders why they want to be in position they are craving for, you will weep for our nation over their level of emptiness as far as development issues are concerned. He says, what do they understand for peace, security, stability, predictability, development, growth, and progress to be actualized? I believe that peace, security, democracy, and prosperity must be taken together. He also says that as a country, in the last 63 years, we have not lived up to the expectations. We have disappointed ourselves. We have disappointed Africa. We have disappointed the black race. We have disappointed the world.
He's really
because of yes. And then he said that,
Wow.
but you know, he's saying that, but if our leaders, if we have better leaders, if they understand exactly what they're meant to do, what development entails, and those who also have the fear of God and have a conscience, we can turn our story around.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Moving on to Daily Sun. Protest rocks Benin City over fuel price. Demonstrators say Tinubu government choking Nigerians to death. Yakubu, that's INEC didn't receive direct funding from foreign development partners. Tribunal nullifies election of Labour Party's Okoli as rep member, returns Elumelu. Tribunal also, INEC can't explain Tinubu's victory, claims Obi, says 2 million votes from 18,000 polling units unclear. Kogi again, hoodlums raise SDP global candidates campaign office. Atiku escapes death in his Adamawa residence. 2 arrested. PDP demands probe. PAP group accuses Udiomu of harassing staff after documents leak. And Anambra Joint Security Forces storm gunmen, then arrest 9, recovers vehicles. So, which of the story are we starting with? Is it the protest? What has the protest in Benin?
Okay.
No, I didn't take the story.
Okay, so the Edo State Civil Society essentially are complaining about the fuel hike that we are all experiencing, and they chose to go about it by doing what do you call it? A protest on the streets of Benin City. The entire they call themselves it's a civil society. All of them came organized, and they are protesting. The complaint is majorly about the fact that a lot of the policies being implemented by the current administration is choking citizens. And I understand the challenge. You know, we were all told right from the first speech by the president that it was going to be a tough one. And yes, we are all feeling the pinch. And I think it's okay. It was a peaceful protest. Thankfully, there was no violence. There was no vandalism. And I hope that every protest that plans to take place follows that same template.
But so, I'm worried. There's so much anxiety. I feel like they're not communicating enough. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel anxiety rises on a daily basis. You just go on the headlines and you hear that the marketers are about to raise the price again. And you're wondering, okay, you hear schools are increasing fees. So there's so much anxiety. I just feel it's fair that they communicate better.
So we'll be hoping to hear more from
the government.
Yeah.
So we have a former vice president, the presidential candidate of PDP, Atiku Abubakar. They said at the weekend he cheated death as police confirmed arrest of 2 suspected Boko Haram terrorists on a mission to attack his residence in Yola in Adamawa State. One Jibrila Mohammed was arrested at the residence of the former president in Yola, and while they were interrogating him, they were able to also arrest his accomplice. He confessed to being a member of Boko Haram sect. He revealed a plot to bomb Waziri Atiku's residence along with the faculties at the American University Nigeria Yola, which we know that he owns, as well as the Modibo Adamawa Central Mosque. So PDP is demanding a thorough investigation of this. They feel that this is just a way to, of course, bring about his death, but also cause chaos and confusion in, in the community and in the state and in the country as a whole, to have that. So we hope investigations are carried out. Yes.
But
intelligence, we're able to get them on time.
Moving on to Vanguard, major headline, ministerial list. Hey, anxiety as 7 ex-governors, others pile pressure on President Tinubu. APC members urged to remain calm. All of us are waiting for this list. In other stories, global principles of fairness, compensation for publishers by Google. Facebook launched as Nobel laureate BBC and NG Yoda endorse principles. Musk rebrands Twitter, replaces bird logo with X.
Wow. My Twitter has been stolen too.
Gas flaring, reps to recover $9 billion fines from oil companies. Disclose identities of NSA's mass burial victim. Amnesty tells federal government. And Tinubu not a magician. APC didn't promise overnight solution. That's from Oshemole. Protest rock Benin City over fuel hike price. And H1 2023 foreign investments in stock market fails by 40.4% to 145.1 billion naira. So, what happened with Elon Musk? What is he doing?
Okay, so Elon Musk has rebranded Twitter, and that's coming from the whole, I would say, industry tussle between him and the founder of the Meta company.
Continue.
What's this guy's name again? Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes.
And, the Meta company just released an app called Threads, and Threads is functioning just like Twitter. So there's that industry tussle between Elon Musk and, the founder, let's just say Twitter and Threads. And Elon Musk is now taking the initiative to rebrand Twitter. And first of the rebranding measures they took was to change the logo, took the bird away, the blue bird, and replaced it with X. And they're also looking to make Twitter a more engaging app, like for it to do more. They are hoping it will start functioning like WeChat, where you can use it to, apart from putting your thoughts on it, you can chat with it like WhatsApp, and you can even make payments on it. So they're looking to actually expand.
I'm sure the look on my face, I'm like just wondering what's going on. In between all of that, I think it's important that Nigerians just understand that everyone that runs business on social media, you need to find alternatives to your business offline.
You have offline.
You have offline customers, and I am one of those people that need to find the solution quickly because most of my customers, I got them from social media.
And as an entrepreneur, you need to always look for innovative ways to expand your products. You cannot just stay on one spot and think,
So, Mariam, what story?
The former governor of Edo State, Senator Adams Oshomole, had an interview on a TV station Sunday night, and in response to questions, he says that that first of all, the president that we voted for, Nigerians know that you voted for the president. You did not vote for him. You did not vote for a magician. He says that I know what we APC promise more than you who is reporting. You don't need to give me examples, okay? Then he says, we did not promise 24-hour solution. We did not promise miracles. We did not promise an overnight solution, and he's saying that, anyway, all he's trying to say is that it's going to take a process for us to see the better Nigeria that we're looking for. It's not something that is meant to happen in 24 hours or is meant to happen right now. It's not a miracle. The president is not a magician, but he will put all that's needed, put in place, and it will take a while before we'll start seeing the fruit of this work.
I think they just need to communicate better, just like Mrs. Fash said.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's proceed.
We're done for today, but we'll just take the stories in Nigerian Tribune, how Tinubu can halt petrol pump price from hitting 1,000. That's from some experts. Please, I want the president to read this article. If they have advice, let us take the advice. We need the advice right now. I cannot imagine petrol going for 1,000 naira per litre. In other news, Labour Party was taken out and Elumelu has been declared winner. We have 4 injured as 2-story building collapses in Ibadan. Really sad. But thankfully, we didn't have any fatalities from that. And gory details of the Ore petrol tanker explosion. And that's also a very sad one. But it is well, It seems like we're just taking sad.
Some days.
Some
days are like that.
Good stories will help,
Take a deep breath. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll go into the hot topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.